Andrew, on today's show, we are joined by a man who has built a company that now processes over $1 billion of credit card fees each and every year. His name is Khaazra. And on today's show, we talk about the importance of a daily mental reset. From your perspective, Andrew, why is it important that every single morning you refocus and reset your day before you begin, the actual laser show that is the Andrew Bloomer Day?
Oh, yeah. So there's always a lot of crazy stuff that happens throughout the day, whether it be burning fires or negative things or bad things. You always got to wrap those up at the end of the day and start fresh because you've got to bring the energy, you've got to bring showtime, you've got to, set the tone for the day. So if you don't set the tone for the day, someone else will.
Now, James, you're an attorney. I mean, how often do you
Yes.
have a bad day? Is it once a week, once a month, once a year? How often does something bad happen?
Oh, something bad happens all the time, but I can't remember the last time I had a bad day because it just
Because you've learned to reset.
reset.
And
Yeah.
on today's-
Reset almost immediately.
On today's show, we're going to teach you how to reset almost immediately. And then just because it's disturbing and memorable, we're going to discuss it in great detail, my conception. That's right, folks. With great detail, we're going to explain the process of my human conception on this earth that led to my birth.
Whoa! 3, 2, 1, boom! You are now entering the dojo of Mojo and the Thrive Time Show.
Thrive Time Show on the microphone. What is this? Top of the iTunes charts in the category of business. Drilling down on business topics like we are a dentist. Providing you with mentorship like you are an apprentice. And we go so fast that you might get motion sickness. Grab a pen and pad to the lab. Let's get in this. It's time to bear some fruit like some Florida oranges. 3, 2, 1. Here come the business ninjas.
Sonic boom!
Oh, yes, Thrive Nation. Today is a very special occasion because on today's show, we're going to talk about the daily reset you need to be at your best on a daily basis with the man, the myth, the legend, Khaazra. Welcome on to the Thrive Time Show. How are you, sir?
Oh, great. And yourself, Clay. Thanks for having me, my man.
Brother, I'm excited to talk to you. And before I start asking you questions and before James starts interrogating you, I want to go over some facts. First off, people out there want to know, how in the world do we spell your name?
That's a good question. K like kitchen, H like hello, A, Z like zebra, R like reed, A like apple.
And
Khaazra.
Khaazra.
K-H-A-Z-R-A.
Khaazra. Now, Khaazra, what is your company? What do you do for a living?
So, Electronic Commerce is the name of our payment processing company. We help entrepreneurs and business owners scale and grow their businesses through payment processing.
So give me an example of, like, I'm not looking for the name of a specific client, but what are the services that you would offer for a client out there listening to today's show?
So let's say if it was a brick and mortar business, maybe they used to those like old clunky or very new, sophisticated, fancy looking credit card terminals. We could provide those. We could provide POS systems, to help kind of make the inventory and the products that you may offer to kind of like help systematize all that. Your staff can clock in and clock out with it. And or if they're processing online, like e-com is just booming nowadays, right? If they have an e-com store, then we can set up their entire e-com store from making it car brand compliant all the way to integrations to with whatever widget, whatever system that they have out there that they need to connect with in order to make their store more profitable or better for their clients.
And your company processes nearly $1 billion of credit card transactions per year. Is that correct?
Oh, absolutely. That's really $1 billion. Absolutely.
So how do you make money? How do you make money?
So the way we make our money, well, several different ways. One is sometimes we'll sell the POS system. Sometimes we give them away for free. Just depends on what program you get into. But where we make money is off of the profit off of the actual rate itself. So there's an interchange, something called interchange, and there's some room for profit in there. And so that's where we come in. So let's say, as an example, we come to you, we give you 1%, right? Let's say our cost is 1%, but we give you 1.10% or 1.20%. We'd make the difference between what cost is and what you pay.
Now, what we're talking about today,
and MasterCard take the rest.
We're talking today about the importance of the daily reset. Because when you're processing over $1 billion of credit card transactions, I'm sure somebody at some point gets upset. I'm sure. I mean, if you own a business, in our case, we cut men's hair. One of our companies, Elephant in the Room, we cut hair. I feel like we do a great job. Andrew, your wife manages the 3 stores, does a phenomenal job. We have 2 locations in Oklahoma City. Mm-hmm. But occasionally, this just in, people make mistakes. And if you're not good at emotionally rebounding, you simply cannot be an entrepreneur. Because the average person has far less adversity than the average entrepreneur. I mean, think about this. With 4,000 people who trust us to cut their hair, and let's just say we make a mistake 3% of the time. I'm just throwing out a number, okay? That's about our average. That means 120 people a month are irritated. Now, in a typical month, James, you're an attorney. Help me break this down here. Would you agree that 30 days is about the average number of days in a month?
Yes.
Okay, so that means there's about 4 people per day that are upset. Now, if I hadn't taught myself how to reset, man, I would have a bad existence. So what I'm going to do, Khaazra, is I'm going to read you a notable quotable from Napoleon Hill, and I'm going to ask you about how this relates to daily resets. Okay, I got 3 quotes I'm going to read to you, okay? This first notable quotable from Napoleon Hill reads, Wealth that is shared creates more wealth, and you can share many forms of wealth besides money. Again, I repeat, wealth that is shared creates more wealth, and you can share many forms of wealth besides money. You do a great job of this, Khaazra. You do a great job of helping out people. You do a great job. Why do you have to think about that on a daily basis, that wealth that is shared creates more wealth and that you can share many more forms of wealth besides just money?
So there's I'm going to give you another quote that it just stays with me, right? I will never forget this quote. I think it was by Zig Ziglar, and he said that if you can help enough other people get what they want, then you can have anything you want. And I think in order to really have a very flourishing and profitable business, right? Most people who have a business make their money from customers and clients by servicing them or selling them a product of some sort. So the more people that you can help, then obviously just the more money you're going to make as a result. And so that's how I see things. Is I believe in giving as much value as I can. I don't, sales to me is it's communication before the sale, during the sale, and after the sale. And if I do a good enough job, then more than likely someone's going to refer me to someone else, and that just has a ripple effect. So that's what I think. I look at Mr. Bezos, and look how many people he's helping, right? And look how profitable they are at the same time.
Okay, now I'm going to read another notable quotable. Now this one is another Napoleon Hill quote, and this is very pertinent to today's times we live in because, James, you moved here from Manhattan, and when people were in the lockdown, the quarantines, the shutdowns, what are people doing all day when they're locked inside their apartments?
Well, some are exercising, some are reading, others are just getting fat and watching TV.
Okay.
Others are drinking, doing drugs.
So here we go. March 11th. This is from, again, well, a lot of people in New York have been, in their apartments since March. They've been in their condos, okay, watching media, consuming media. A lot of people all over the country have been doing this. Here's the notable quotable from Napoleon Hill. It says, "The subconscious mind will transmute into its physical equivalent." Again, I repeat, the subconscious mind will transmute into its physical equivalent by the most direct and practical media available. Any order which is given to it in a state of belief or faith that the order will be carried out. Khaazra, why do you not spend your days typically on a daily basis, to keep this, you reset every day. You do a great job about doing this. Could you get better? Sure. Could I get better? Yeah. But why do you not spend your day watching Antifa videos on repeat all day of just endless violence? Why do you not spend your day, watching Schindler's List every morning? Why do you not just fill your mind with horror movie scenes? Why do you on a daily basis choose to put positive media into your brain?
So a man thinketh is the saying that I've heard. So old wise saying, but I know it to be true. Even though I may have heard that saying before I understood what it meant. Growing up in Detroit, Michigan, just looking back at some pictures, and even when I go back home, I can, I see people, and I was one of those people who are just stuck almost like in a time warp.
Yeah.
But then when you think to yourself like, well, why, right? But look at what they're watching. Look at, what they're feeding their mind and their body with, right? And then it just happens to be exactly what they've been watching all day, right? I guess it creates some kind of program in your head where it's just on repeat through your mind, and eventually, you become the physical manifestation of that. And so I was the guy with, the big gigantic, with fashion, with the big gigantic baggy pants and the crazy look.
Oh yeah.
Right. But it's what I was watching all day. I was, the different rap videos and then the different programs. That's what was embellished to me, and I became that person. And then I didn't realize it until I stepped out of it. And I came back. I was like, wow, was that me? And it was. I remember going back to Newark, Clay. I went to Essex County College. I went to Rutgers also in New Jersey. And I remember in Newark, at a point in time, if you go downtown Newark, all the men, I would say, I didn't count, but I'm just going to say about 85 to 90% of all the males would have gigantic baggy pants and white undershirts. Like white undershirts that would hit their knee almost.
That's
was
hot.
The style.
Hey, real quick.
Walk.
Hey, listen, I hate to do this to you. But I have audio of you. The other day I saw Khaazra. Khaazra, you live in Florida, right? You live in Florida, right? That's where your home is? Is that right?
I do. I live in Florida, yep.
Now, this is not confirmed, but it's certainly not denied, James. You know what I mean? This is the kind of thing the media would just run with right now. I was in Florida. Now, people can't prove this. I'm just telling you this is rumors, James. I was in Florida, and I see a guy walking down the road carrying a gigantic boom box and some linoleum. And I look over and I'm like,
Khaazra?
Is that Khaazra? Is that Khaazra? And I'm like, wait a minute. And all of a sudden it's like I look around and I'm like, wait a minute. And all of a sudden it's like I see I look it is Khaazra. And pretty soon it's like a 80s rewind, but it's happening now. Now I don't know whether this music affected that. I mean, but when you hear this music, James, it subconsciously takes you back.
Oh, yeah. Wiki.
Oh, man. Oh. Yeah.
How about some cowbell? Do we need cowbell for this?
Oh, let me get some cowbell on that track. This was audio of Khaazra last Thursday. Just,
come on, man. There we go.
Oh. And he was just breaking it down. It was unbelievable. Khaazra, do you normally do that? Or maybe that wasn't you?
No, that wasn't me. That was a lookalike.
But that's the thing, though. I mean, you got to be careful. You start listening to that music. Pretty soon, you start dressing up in your breakdancing gear. You start carrying around a large boom box. You start throwing out the linoleum. You start spinning around. By the way, side note: can you breakdance, Khaazra?
I cannot breakdance.
I don't believe you.
Not at all.
We'll have to see.
Do you wish that you could breakdance?
I wish I was that flexible and had the strength and skills to do that, but I can't.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Now, this is the final point I want to talk about today on today's show about the importance of the daily reset, because you have to think about these things on a daily basis or you start to drift, Napoleon Hill, he writes, "The habit of saving does away with the habit of waste. As saving becomes a need through habit, many a man finds that he can live just as well as he did before on the same salary, and this even if some prices have gone up." I repeat, the habit of saving does away with the habit of waste. As saving becomes a need through habit, many a man finds he can live just as well as he did before on the same salary. And this, even if some prices have gone up. Khaazra, in order to build a successful company, there's been times where you've had to spend aggressively to grow the company. Other times you've had to save. But at the end of the day, if you don't have any money, you're out of business. And so tell me about how on a daily basis you sort of look at finances or think about finances.
Oh, that's a very interesting question, Clay. First of all, I went years without taking any pay, right? Years, plural, not even a couple, plural. So I definitely know about, whatever you make, get it, put it back in or save. But right now, in terms of what you're talking about, so I just recently went through all the KPIs for the company, right? Or at least most of the company. I went through all the KPIs, and as we speak, putting together the P&L. right? So it's extremely important to know how much money you're making, how much money is going out, if your company is profitable or not. And you can't do that by guessing. I don't even think you could do that by only looking at your bank statement. I think you actually need a system like a KPI. And of course, in order to do the P&L, you need the KPI, but you need KPIs in the P&L. I don't know. Maybe if you're super small, you don't need it, but
Dude.
I think it's a great way to grow.
Every time I look at it, I'll just tell you last month what happened. I got a phone bill that was over $1,000, my phone bill. It's normally like $450.
Your personal phone bill or office?
Personal. And I thought, whoa, I'm getting a lot of calls. I'm calling a lot of people. Well, it turns out, actually, this is what happened is, I set a limit on the card, for the month. So it turns out 1 month didn't get paid, then it hit twice, so it was double charged. But for a moment I thought, whoa. And so I had to go out there, and I went out to my car, I got out some linoleum, I got out the boom box, and I'm just going, whoa. Because that's
Break dance the pain away.
That's how I let off the steam. I put myself in like some sort of weird body pretzel, and I just hold the pose for a couple hours. No, but seriously, it was disturbing at first. But Khaazra, because we have a profit and loss statement that we look at consistently, we do have one document where we have all of our expenses every month. I was able to look at it and catch the outlier. And so that's a great tip. Khaazra, if I'm listening right now and I'm going, man, I need to save some money. I'm looking at maybe, or I want to add some added security to my credit card processing. I want to make sure I have the best credit card processing experience, because a lot of times people have not compared rates in a long time. What's the best way to get a hold of you and to take the Khaazra challenge?
They can go to ecompaymentprocessing.com, ecompaymentprocessing.com, or they can just go to Khaazra.com and just sign up, and I'll get back in contact with them there.
Hey,
I'd be happy to they have.
I have a question. What do you feel? Have you listened to the song "Feel Like Making Love" by Bad Company in a while? How long has it been since you've heard the song? Khaazra, how long has it been since you've heard? How long has it been? Since you've heard. I'll cue it up in just a second. I just want to know, how long has it been since you've listened to the 1975 classic?
I think
Jam?
he tried to hang up, but then when he realized he didn't, he had to just.
How long has it been, Khaazra?
What's the name of the song again?
Bad Company, "Feel Like Making Love," 1975, the classic hit. How long has it been since you've heard this song?
Oh, I heard it I think if it's the same one that I think we're talking about, I heard it in the movie. I don't know what movie it was.
I'm going to crank it up real quick, and I'm just going to tell you, this is why I'm playing this song is this. Every time I play this song, I think about my conception. So I don't listen to it very much, but it takes me back.
Ooh, I like that.
It takes me back. Now, again, somebody out there listening here, you're going, what? Listen, you have to daily reset. That's why I don't listen to this song, because every time I hit play on this song, I start to think about the thoughts my dad was having. I was born in 1980, so around 1975, my dad's having certain thoughts.
That's the ultimate reset if you're thinking about your conception, isn't it?
Okay, let me take it up.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm telling you, we have to mentally reset, folks.
Oh, man.
And sometimes you don't want to go back to a mental place and space. Here we go.
Baby,
Oh, yeah.
when I think about you,
This is the live version, by the way.
I think about love.
Oh, wow. You want some more cowbell? I'll give you some more cowbell. Here we go.
Darling,
Oh, yeah.
I don't live without you.
My dad said to marry my mom.
And your love.
You want to go skating? Yeah, I want to go skating. He puts in an 8-track,
I had
probably some Chicago.
those golden dreams
And then after about 4 tracks, they're out of
of my
jams. So
yesterday.
they go to the other 4 tracks. Now all 8 tracks are done playing. So they put in another cartridge.
I would wrap
They put it in the Bad Company. And he's like, hey, instead of going skating, perhaps you could play the dice game. You know what I mean?
On the way, feel like making.
Whoa! Whoa! Oh! Feel like making love.
Oh yeah.
Whoa! Ha! Feel like making love. Woo! Yeah! Whoa! See, that's why I don't listen to it, because it takes me back to that dark time where I was conceived. And I mean this, though, Khaazra. Somebody out there's playing the same negative track that takes them to a weird place. You got to quit listening to songs about your conception. I mean, Khaazra, would you listen to positive music every day? What are you doing?
You know what? I've never heard that song. I was thinking about something different.
Oh, wow. That's probably better. That's probably better for you. Khaazra, what do you listen to every morning? Do you have a certain playlist?
You know what? I don't, man, but I need one, though. I really do. You know, I listen to Audible.
You do? Audible. Okay. Well, I'm going to tell you, folks, every day is a great day for the big reset because whatever happened yesterday, good or bad, you got to reset. If you had a bad day yesterday, you got to reset. You can't just have several bad days in a row. You've got to get a positive momentum going, and that can only be achieved by choosing to reset each and every morning. Khaazra, you're a great American. Thank you for joining us on today's show, and I can't wait to see you here in Tulsa in a couple days.
Okay, you too. Thank you as well, buddy. Appreciate you, man. Can't wait to see you.
And now, without any further ado, 3, 2, 1, boom!